I borrowed the new Fujifilm GFX100ii for a weekend and used it on a little road trip. Over 3 days of the weekend I shot 3 different locations. At first I started with a simple studio setup. To test the close focus capabilities of the 63 and the 110mm lenses, I shot my Zeiss Icon, the Leica M, some film packaging and film cam. Although both lenses deliver an insanely sharp image, I felt that the close focusing distance was a bit limiting when shooting smaller objects. Both lenses can only focus up to 0.7 meters, so to get the shot I wanted, I needed to crop the images. Later that day, I hopped into my car and drove deep into the Black Forest in the south of Germany. To be honest, the weather wasn't the best while shooting. It constantly changed from rain to snow, from snow to rain, and then suddenly the sun came out. Although some of the photos I took during the rain look quite moody, I still like the images shot during the sunshine a lot more. My favorite 2 images are the house on the hill and the golden tree in front of the blue sky. On my way back, I noticed that there was an old train station with some abandoned wagons and construction machines. So I pulled over, grabbed the camera and started shooting. I love the mix of the rusty industrial elements in contrast with the vivid greens from the nature. On Sunday, I headed out together with my friend and cameraman. The first destination of the day was one of my favorite locations, the so-called Goat Mountain. A short walk away from the nearest parking spot is an amazing viewpoint that overlooks a windmill and the surrounding mountains. There I shot some landscapes and some close-ups to get a feel for the depth of field the lenses produce when shot wide open. Next, we continued on the same mountain road we used to get to the Gold Mountain and drove down into the near valley. Our next and final destination was an old military airport that's no longer in active use. The hangars that are still standing are owned by companies and individuals and are used for storage. The sky was overcast and it constantly rained, which weren't the best conditions to photograph, so the photos are medium at best. Now, the weekend was over, and after bringing the camera back, the last thing that remained was sorting and editing all of the 170 images I shot over the 3 days. As you maybe noticed, I didn't mention any specs or other technical details from the camera. That's on purpose, as I want to use the camera in the real world instead of shooting focus charts and explain every little technical aspect in great detail. There are more than enough content creators in YouTube that produce videos with all those details if this is important to you. So, to sum it all up, apart from some minor issues, I had a blast using this camera, although I could only test it for 3 days. It's a near perfect camera with some limitations. For my personal work and style of shooting, it's definitely overkill. I would rent this setup for a bigger commercial shooting or if my customer requests this kind of quality. But otherwise, I don't see much use for it in my current workflow. The positives? The resolution is more than enough to use your images in a wide variety of use cases. The overall sharpness and dynamic range makes the images more natural and gives you a lot of flexibility in post. The body and especially the grip are perfect for longer shootings, especially if you have large hands. I love that they crammed almost everything software-wise into this camera that's now state of the art. 8K video, pixel shifting, anamorphic descrease, f-log and so much more. The negatives, which are my personal opinion: the autofocus is not the fastest, it hunts a lot and isn't usable in video mode. When filming 8K, the sensor crop is definitely noticeable and reduces the focal range that you can use with your lens set. To be honest, the negative points I listed are very minor problems I had. This camera is almost perfect and the problem I had with it are easily fixable through a software update or a different way of shooting with this camera, as I'm not really the target audience for this product. So if you can justify spending close to 12,000 euros for the body, 2 batteries and 2 lenses, you won't be disappointed. And that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions and thanks for watching.